Welcome to Hutcho's Believe It or Not. Fact or fiction? Have you ever wondered about the bizarre and sometimes shocking medical practices of the past? Today we'll look into some incredible and unsettling medical practices from history. So hang on, because we're going on a wild ride through time. First up, let's talk about a jaw-dropping fact. Parents giving their kids heroin in the 1980s. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. Back then, heroin was marketed as a cough suppressant for children. Major pharmaceutical companies actually produced and sold it. The idea was that heroin, being a derivative of morphine, could calm a cough really well. In 1988, Bayer & Company introduced heroin as a pain reliever and cough suppressant. The company packaged and sold the drug in bottles like this one. Its amber glass and colorful label presented the newly commercialized product, heroin, to customers as an effective, safe treatment. But as we know today, heroin is highly addictive and incredibly dangerous. Thank goodness medical science has come a long way since then. Next, let's slither into the world of snake oil. The term snake oil salesman has become synonymous with fraud, but did you know it originated from actual snake oil? In the 1800s, snake oil was sold as a cure-all remedy. These salesmen would travel from town to town, peddling their miraculous elixirs. The reality? Most of these cures were nothing more than a mix of alcohol, opium, and other dubious ingredients. It was a time when false hope was sold in a bottle and desperate people bought it. Moving on, let's sniff out the truth about cocaine. Believe it or not, cocaine was once hailed as a wonder drug. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, doctors prescribed it for everything from toothaches to depression. Around the mid-1880s, scientists were able to isolate the active ingredient of the coca leaf, erythroxylon coca, later known as cocaine. Pharmaceutical companies loved this new, fast-acting and relatively inexpensive stimulant. Even the legendary psychoanalyst Sigmund Freud was a big fan. Cocaine was so popular that it was even an ingredient in the original Coca-Cola formula. However, as its addictive and harmful effects became clear, the medical community quickly distanced itself from the drug. And now let's delve into one of the most controversial practices in medical history, the lobotomy. In the 1940s and 1950s, lobotomies were seen as a miracle cure for mental illness. Pioneered by a neurologist named Walter Freeman, this procedure involved severing connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex. The frontal lobe was the part of the brain targeted in the standard lobotomy operations practiced in the 1940s and 1950s. This surgery consisted of making holes in the skull, removing some brain tissue, and severing the connections between the frontal lobe and the thalamus. 11. The goal was to alleviate symptoms of mental disorders, but the reality was often tragic. Patients were left with severe cognitive impairments, personality changes, or worse. This dark chapter in medical history is a sobering reminder of how far we've come. So there you have it, heroin for kids, snake oil salesmen, cocaine wonder drugs, and lobotomies. These unbelievable medical practices remind us of the importance of scientific progress and ethical standards in medicine. Thanks for joining me on this journey through the strange history of medical practices. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating content. Until next time, stay curious.